Hey everybody, welcome to Silent Hill 3. I've wanted to play this game for a long time, or rather replay it since I've played it like 23 times over the course of my lifetime. First things first, let's make sure everything's set up properly. Got the subtitles on. Got the brightness level at 6. You don't want it to be too bright, but at the same time it is darker for you guys on YouTube, so I want to make sure you can actually see what's going on. So we're going to leave it at 6. If we need to, we'll adjust it to 7. And we're going to leave the controls at 2D. You also have the 3D controls, which is basically the tank controls, but I prefer the 2D because they give you a much wider range of movement. Blood color normal. Let's do much. We're going to do much blood. And we're going to leave the noise effect off because I want to show off the graphics a bit. And we are playing on the PC, on my gaming laptop. And I'm using the enhanced version of the game. I'm using the mod that fixes a bit of the issues that the game has. It fixes like some of the stuff with the sound and the frame rate and stuff like that. It's not quite as good as the enhanced edition for Silent Hill 2, but it's probably the best we're gonna get for now, unless the team behind the enhanced edition for the second game decides to do one for the third game. But it's not looking likely at this point, so someone else made this mod and so far it runs pretty good. And we are going to do action level normal, and for the riddles we're also going to do normal because I've forgotten those puzzles and the solutions to them for the most part, so we're just going to do normal. When I first saw Valtio in the intro when he's crawling up that pipe, I thought that was some type of energy vortex. I didn't realize we were just in the basement of the church. Silent Hill always does nice intros, doesn't it? With the first game and even the second one. Look at that rocking horse. He's going Jacob's ladder on us. I had to lock it at 30 frames per second because it started stuttering really badly. I don't know why, it never did that on the regular PC, but it did here, so I basically had to lock it at 30 FPS. I don't think anyone will mind because this is a really old game. This is from 2003, so I don't think anyone's expecting, you know, full seamless 60 FPS playthrough or gameplay of this. This game is 20 years old. God damn, Heather still looks good in terms of the texture detail done on her character. That's what a lot of people have pointed out on Twitter, that the textures and the detail for this game are really good. Like it still actually looks better than some games being released today. You see some games being released today and they look like crap, but this actually holds up pretty well. A rabbit doll? No, it's a costume. Is there someone in there? It sure looks like there is, but I don't feel like making sure. Yeah, I have a save for this already at the gallery, but since it's a brand new playthrough, we're starting from scratch. Otherwise, you don't get to see this little section here with this little sequence here. It's a giant rabbit costume. Why would this be here? And what's this? Something strange in a cagey box thing. A person? Not quite. I don't really want to stare at it for very long, whatever it is. This always freaked me out a bit, the effect of the blood crawling over the corpse. You'll see it a lot in the game. It's a popcorn wagon, but no one's here to sell it. Where did they go? A huge map signboard to the north. That is, if I keep going the way I'm facing, I'll find a roller coaster. Is this an amusement park? Obviously, it's an amusement park from hell. What the? There's probably a dead teenager inside that costume header. That's what I normally employ for those mascots in the amusement park, like Disney. Souvenir shop. There's a rabbit picture on it. We got the famous brand, Cookie. No trademark needed, just Cookie. There are boxes of cookies and chocolates on display. I love this kind of stuff, but I don't feel like eating it here and now. There's a rabbit stuffed animal here. I'll be honest, I'd probably eat it. If you're gonna die, you might as well go out eating what you enjoy, right? There are some normal souvenir type toys here. Huh. Never thought I'd say normal in a place like this. Lots of different styles, but I don't really want any of them. I'm getting out of this nasty place. If they had any tools now, that'd be a different story. So let's take a look at our inventory. We've got nothing. We have the submachine gun. Got one health item that gives us a little bit of health, and we got one medium health item. We got 30 bullets. Without spoiling too much, you don't really need to worry about using up ammo or health items here. You should just use them if you want. It's a rabbit stuffed animal here. The mouth part is stained red. Almost like blood stains. Disgusting. That's what they are, Header. They are blood stains. There's a row of shirts for sale. I don't think they'd help me at all. I don't know, you could strangle someone with it. So this is the famous Robbie the Rabbit, who's pretty much become the mascot for the series, next to Pyramid Head. I think they sell stuffed toys of him, and I know they definitely sell statues because I've seen them. I don't have one myself though because they're pretty expensive. I think the cheapest one is around like $80, and I do not want to pay $80 for a Robbie the Rabbit statue. I do not like him that much. Now a Pyramid Head statue I might buy eventually. I bought the plushie from Fangamer, but Robbie the Rabbit, no thanks. I'm not a big enough fan to waste that type of money on him. Oh goddamn, we're trapped. So let's head towards the mountain castle. God damn, knocked her to the ground. Hey, what's that? I never even noticed that before. That hanging body right there. That's new. Alright, we made it to the top. And it's locked, which means you can't do anything with it. Oh boy, so where should I start? I bought this game, I think it was in the summer or fall of 2003, whenever it was released. I first saw this game and the demo for that they released with the PlayStation Underground. They used to release those nice cool demo discs that had demos for a bunch of games, and Silent Hill 3 was on it. I already played the second and loved it, even though it still wasn't my favorite compared to the original. But I'd seen that and I'd seen the previews for it, but you know, everyone's speculating what Heather's story was gonna be. But I didn't actually see gameplay for it until that demo. And that demo pretty much sold me on the game. I didn't need selling on it, but it did. It's actually a really cool demo because it's pretty much this whole section here and then like the whole section in the beginning of the game after you meet Douglas. So it's pretty much a meaty demo, you know. It's not the type of demo some companies will do, like they'll give you 10 minutes of gameplay and that's it. That's when Alone in the Dark did this year. Actually, they gave us a demo that's only like 10 minutes long. I haven't even played the damn thing because I don't have a PS5 yet. I'm still waiting for it to be delivered. But yeah, Konami gave us a full meaty demo for this. They let us pretty much play the whole beginning part. Damn, we almost fell off the track. And yeah, I played that demo and I liked it, so I decided to buy the game. And I actually bought the game way back when I was a kid at Circuit City. Back when I was a kid, when life was so much better and simpler. It was actually one of the few games I ever bought from Circuit City. And that was, I think it was there were two near my house. This was the closest one, but there was another one too that I would go to later on, and I bought a couple things from them before they went out of business. They're still around in website form, I think, but I don't know how successful they actually are. Yeah, I had to change the frame rate to lock it to 30 because it kept stuttering, but also like Heather kept switching between 30 and 60, so she would rock normally one moment and then just speed up like the Flash the next. There we just got hit by a roller coaster. I never noticed that was someone's head in the frame, isn't it? I always thought she was alone in there.
What a nightmare.
So there was a bit of stuttering there I noticed on the cutscene. I wonder why. I guess it's just the cinematics, right? Because this seems pretty alright. So I guess it's just like the
Dad, it's me. Yeah. Sorry I didn't call sooner. Yeah, I guess I was. Anyway, I'm coming home now. Oh, I didn't get that thing you asked me to. Okay. Okay, I will. I love you too, Dad.
yeah, the frame rate seemed pretty smooth here, so I wonder what's up with the cutscenes. I always wonder what it was she had to get for him.
Heather, I need to speak with you. My name is Douglas Cartland. I'm a detective.
A detective? Really? Well, nice talking to you.
Hold on. There's someone that wants to meet you. Just let me have an hour. No, half an hour of your time.
My daddy always told me not to talk to strangers.
This is very important. It's about your birth.
I'm not interested. Are you still following me? Do I have to scream?
Sorry. I'll wait here.
So I'll be honest, I do not like Douglas. I find he's a poor substitute for a certain other male character that we see later on. I just don't like him. I don't know what it is about him that puts me off. Heather is lucky he is kind of decent though, because some other guys would have just grabbed her outright. She would have had to use that knife. It's a switchblade for self-defense. I never used it just in case. That's a large switchblade. It's my front door key. The AC Villa apartment number 102 is carved into the key. Dad gave me this pendant on my birthday. It's one of my treasured belongings. There's a jewel inside, like a little red tablet. When I asked Dad what it was, he said just a lucky charm. But then he told me to take good care of it and never take it off. Looks like we encountered our first glitch there. Then I'm gonna have to cut that out. The mark on this mirror looks so familiar somehow. What do I know it from? Where did I once see it? And why does my head hurt so much when I try to remember it? That was strange. Why did it glitch out like that? Oh, I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing on this video. Let's create a new save data just in case anything further happens. I don't know why it glitched out like that. Yeah, it was like as soon as we approached this mirror, something just went berserk. Huh. Guess someone's in there. Yeah, it's occupied. Rude of me to keep on knocking, huh? I probably would have knocked and told them there was a creepy guy stalking you outside. You know, strength in numbers. I don't like mirrors. It's almost like there's an unknown world right on the other side. And the person staring at me isn't really me, just an imitator. I know how stupid that sounds, but that's how I feel. But if I keep thinking about it, it just makes me feel sick. Yeah, Travis Grady would know all about those mirrors, wouldn't he? I love this theme, by the way. It's one of my all-time favorite themes from the whole Silent Hill series. Probably from any video game soundtrack. For some reason I really like this song. The road is blocked with empty boxes and stuff I can't get through. I remember thinking, oh, this looks so awesome when I first played the demo. Because even back then, like, it really did look like one of the greatest looking PS2 games. So fun little fact, if you have the stamina bar equipped, you'll see here that Heather starts out at full stamina, and after she runs like this, she never runs at this speed again throughout the whole game. From then on. Like if you see the stamina bar, you'll see it go down low, and it never goes back up to that level again throughout the whole game. I don't know why. Well, that's helpful. Maybe I should walk around it. Never mind. But how did this car park here? I mean, honestly, Heather, you could have just crawled underneath and gotten over to the other side, you know? Even though we can see there with the with the gray background, there is nothing on the other side, but yeah, you could have just jumped You could have just tried to climb it. Or just gone underneath. Because if it's parked, it's probably safe to go under. So this is pretty much our one moment of peace before things go to hell. So it's a little stuttery, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time I think it's better than the PS2 version, because then we just have it looking kind of like crap, so I have to make a little sacrifice in terms of the quality just to get it to look good. So that says the Revolt of Turn AO, and I think Turn AO is a reference towards the fairy world. I don't remember where they got it from, but I think that's what it's referencing, the fairy world, which obviously here would be the other world. Oh, look at this, I didn't even notice this before. Silent Hill. So somebody's shipping boxes over there. It says used syringes and needles. Oh. So I'm guessing it must be going to Brookhaven or Alchemilla. Something container, but and that definitely says for use syringes and needles. Ugh. Yeah, so someone's juicing, or else it's for the nurses over there. We really need a decent remaster of this. Like, come on, Konami, get working on it. Now that you have the remake coming out, actually put some effort into remastering it this time, so you can get it properly on a console. Like, they're already doing the Metal Gear games, all of them, so might as well try to do Silent Hill 2. I mean, I know they lost the source code, which is why they couldn't do a decent remaster in the first place, but I never got that because the very first thing that Bluepoint said they did when they set to work on the Metal Gear remasters was buy a purchase copy of the game from a store and then just reverse engineer it. So I don't know why the Silent Hill team working on the remasters couldn't do the same thing. I guess we're just plain inexperienced, right? Like, Hijinks didn't really know how to do that stuff. Bluepoint had already figured it out, so I guess they was just plain inexperienced. It was just Konami being cheap. Shadows are kind of weird. Here comes our first enemy. What would you do if you saw a monster that big in the mall and there was no one else around?
Stay back!
I don't think it speaks English, Heather. I never caught on to the fact that it didn't have eyes. I thought it was I thought that was a face and it was just twitching really fast. I didn't really notice until played through the game a couple times that it didn't have eyes.
What the hell is this thing?
Look at Heather's eyes. How detailed. It's definitely not human. I've never heard of such an animal. And no way is it a costume. It sounds crazy when you say, but monster is the only word for it. But I don't think I'm crazy. It's a demon, Heather. It's obvious. It's not that I hate clothes, but this isn't time or place. Heather doesn't strike me as a type of a sundress girl. I think the skirt's the most feminine she'll go. And so I was gonna say little known fact, but I'm sure pretty much people have caught on to it by now, that this is basically Angela's model from Silent Hill 2, reused for this. She looks a bit different here. If you play the PS2 version, you really notice the resemblance. It is basically her exact model, just covered in blood. I can tell from here that it's dead. Should I call the police? Not like they'd believe me if I said someone's been killed by a monster. Kinda dehumanizing there, right? Referring to her as it. But that's when you lie, Heather. You don't say it's a monster. You say some maniac or someone else attacked them. Let them figure it out when they come in here and see that damn thing lying in there. You know? It's like Crystal Lake. You never call the police and tell them Jason Voorhees is on you. You call the police and tell them someone dressed as Jason Voorhees is on you, stalking you, trying to kill you. And when they arrive at Crystal Lake and fire 10 shots at him and he's still coming, that's when they figure out that it's Jason. Nothing on the shop counter particularly catches my eye. Those hangers could be used as weapons. Yeah, that's why you never say it's a monster, Heather. You just say, you lie and say it's something else. Let them find out for themselves, you know. You don't call a reporter werewolf, you call a reporter man. And when the police show up and get butchered by that werewolf, that's when they call for backup, you know. Let them figure it out. Oh, we got dogs. Just wanted to show that right there. So they've already infected the area. This poster was always creepy. And we got a map of Central Square. Oh boy, did you miss the old days of demo disc? I miss those things. They were pretty cool. I still have all the ones for PlayStation, the ones I was able to get. And the one that had the demo for this game also had Siphon Filter the Omega Stream, which I played pretty often too. Unfortunately, the actual game turned out to be less than perfect. It was not quite a good Siphon Filter game. It was decent, but you play as a created character. You pretty much make your own agent, which sounds cool at first, but you notice Gabe's absence pretty soon. You know. Here's some nice bit of branding. Silent Hill 2. So how does this work? Because obviously we're in the Silent Hill universe, so even though it's just a cameo, I'm guessing, so what, somebody maybe like made a movie off of what Harry, I was gonna say off of what a certain character wrote, but I'm not gonna spoil it yet. Yeah, like, did they make a movie off of it? Obviously it's just there for the cameo, but what does it mean in the universe, you know? Silent Hill is pretty infamous by now, so I wonder if they are making movies or writing books about it. That's cool when you reference past games in a video game, but at the same time it kind of does break the immersion a bit, right? Because you are actually inside the game universe. It'll be too hard to get through here with all the boxes and pallets. Come on, Harry, you can climb that easily. It's a 3. Don't be a wuss. Yeah, a certain character is a novelist and he wrote, I assume he might write suspense or horror stories, so you never know, maybe. Although, if they had optioned it as a movie, he'd probably have a lot more money than he does. Then again, maybe he just doesn't use it. We got this guy. I always found those monsters unsettling. Something about the way they sound. There's lots of stuff, but none of it really looks like it'll be useful. I'm noticing the shadows are kind of weird. They're kind of off. I don't know why. Maybe the patch is not working as it's supposed to. Or maybe this is the extent of what it can fix. Something's falling between the table and the floor. I think it might be a key. If my arms were a little longer, I might be able to reach it. There's a huge pile of cardboard boxes on the table full of books. It's way too much of a pain to move something that heavy. mean, you could probably just take something from here, something slim, and just kind of jar it over here. It's like a magic circle I remember reading about in a book on black magic. Does it seem so familiar because I read about it in that book? No, that's not it. It's not the book. It's from the altar. Altar, what am I thinking? Yeah, that was weird when we touched the first one and the game kind of just imploded. It just went back to the main menu screen showing my very crowded desktop setup. We're not gonna kill that guy because he's not bothering us, so... Yeah, something about the way they move, the way they're pretty much like walking eyeballs. Even though some people have speculated that they represent something entirely different, like a fetus, but either way, that's always been creepy. Let's go to Helen's Bakery. Ah, here's the old meme. It's bread. But I'm not really hungry, so I guess I don't need to worry about it. Just take that to use as a screenshot. It's bread. Have you guys seen the one that says it's header, and there's a giant piece of bread staring at a bunch of miniature headers on the counter? Got a pair of tongs. It's bread. Some nice donuts there. I don't really like those sprinkled donuts with the all the toppings and stuff on them. Actually, those are bagels. I think they might be... Oh, it's not with donuts? I think they might be bagels. Now that I really look at them. Got good flour, $2.89. Tasty bread, $2.89. So which... Is it the flour, I guess? That's not bad. Fruits paste, $3. Actually, those prices are pretty similar to what bread costs right now. $3, $2.89. At least in the local Giant. So it doesn't look like that's gotten affected by inflation much. Helen's Bakery. Crispy toasted bread right to your very door. Everything's on sale. So when you play this game the second time, somebody scratches out the B and the R and they put a D on it, so it says crispy toasted dead. Right to your very door. Now that's a donut, I think. There are no employees around. I wonder where they all went. So this is one thing that people who are complained about the upcoming Silent Hill F, saying how can it take place outside of a Silent Hill way before any of that started. But this obviously shows that the other world can reach way across huge distances. And as we see in Silent Hill 4, it can even reach across other countries, so that's not an issue. You know, I'm sure it'll be connected somehow. I'll make sure to connect it. Maybe like that. Maybe there's a section in Japan that worships that same god or whatever from the town, just under a different name. Or maybe there's like listen to the stomps. Maybe there's like different sections all around the world that are pretty much like Silent Hill. I'm sure they'll find an explanation for it. It's not an issue. Because even in 4, without spoiling much about 4, even in 4, there's like a memo that tells us outright the main killer character in that game pretty much reached across the entire country and killed someone in Mexico. So even then, you know, obviously you can't escape the other world if it's really after you. It'll find a way to find you no matter where you go. Yeah, so this game is definitely not up to the level of polish that the enhanced edition for Silent Hill 2 is. It actually did say enhanced originally, but it wasn't by the same team. This was a much smaller, I think it was only like one person working on it, or maybe two. So obviously they're not going to do as great of an effort as they can Alright, I think there's a... There's another door we can open around here. Oh, here we go. Let's grab the beef jerky and get out of here. God damn. Took a bite out of my boot. Did we sustain any damage? No, we didn't. That those boots are thick. Those are some tough, rugged boots. Yeah, so this whole section is pretty much the demo part of the PlayStation Underground disc, where it shows off the game. I always thought that said New York bestsellers at first, NY. Later on I realized it's my bestseller. None of the books are very interesting, just the kind that I can buy anywhere. Oh, look at how clear the faces look. So the shadows may be screwed up, but the details are actually pretty interesting. Boy, I'd kill just to have an actual bookstore that we could use, because we don't even have those anymore. The only thing left is Barnes & Noble. Everything else went out of business. Like, I take an easy, I take easily, a bookstore in a mall that we could just go into, and even if it's just so common books, it doesn't really matter. I take that over what we have now, because like I said, there's like one Barnes & Noble left at a nearby mall, and that's it. Everything else has gone out of business. Borders went out of business. Walden Books went out of business. Like, Amazon's put everything out of business with its ebooks. So forget about them all being, you know, common books. I'd love to have even that. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Put these books out of order. So the Shakespeare puzzle for this is really a bitch. The Shakespeare puzzle that you do on hard mode, it's one of my favorite puzzles. Like, so good that I actually incorporated it into my one of my fanfics that I wrote. But it's really hard to solve unless you know something about Shakespeare, which thankfully I did, because I had to read a couple of Shakespeare books or Shakespeare plays in high school or middle school. I forgot which. No, I think it was high school. I had to read a couple of Shakespeare plays, so thankfully I knew a bit about it, and I'd heard enough about the other plays like Othello to kind of piece it together. But yeah, imagine if you've never read a Shakespeare play and you have to do that puzzle. That's insane. Okay, so this one's the first. So we gotta use this one. That one goes first. Okay, put it over here. There we go. Let's check the other ones out. So we use that one. So it's 5. Oh, there we go. So it's 5, 2. So we gotta use 4. Let's put that one. Okay. So now we got 5, 2. 5, 2, 3. 5, 2, 3, 1. Got it. 5, 2, 3, 1. This one over here. Shakespeare Anthology. There you go. 5, 2, 3, 1. Oh, what does that say? The complete works of Oscar Wilde? I actually gotta read that one. I have the little book version of The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I bought at Barnes & Noble, I've never read it. It's just sat on my shelf for like years. But it's like this cool little pocketbook that I bought, and I have that one and one from Sherlock Holmes, which I have to read. I also have a kind of like a letter bound version of the original Dracula, which I have to read. I should get started on that soon. I also gotta check out Stephen King's It, although it's intimidating because the book is like a textbook. Like it's literally hundreds and hundreds of pages. There we go, it's unlocked. Here we go, meeting this freak. And her bare, ugly feet. Ugh, look at that.
Hey, wait, what's going on? Where is everybody? Those weird monsters?
They have come to witness the beginning. The rebirth of paradise, despoiled by mankind.
What are you talking about?
She's got no eyebrows.
Don't you know? Your power is needed.
How should I know?
I am Claudia.
So what?
Remember me, and your true self as well. Also, that which you must become. The one who will lead us to paradise with blood-stained hands.
Claudia, right? Did you do all this?
It was the hand of God.
Yeah, never trust someone who has no eyebrows. Sounds like aliens are burrowing into her brain. Like some type of weird transmission.
I don't get it. What does she want me to remember?
Her arm got really red there. Is that supposed to be that way? Because I never noticed that. Like, is that intentional or just like a trick of the light? So, someone once said that all these doors are named after Norse gods or mythological stuff, and not all of them obviously, because some just have regular names like the lumber room. But here you have Cafe Torneo, which again I think is a reference to the fairy world. You have that. Let's see, what other stuff you had. So these are normal. Oh, here we go. You got Yggdrasil, the world tree. That's definitely Norse. We all know that from 4, right? We should know it from 4. Got Nornen. Those are the fates. The 3 Norse fates. Kind of similar to the Greek fates. Which one's the Furies? I think the Greek are the Furies, right? Then the Norse are the fates. So those are some nice little touches there. And we got an elevator with no buttons. I don't like how stuff falls just out of nowhere and sometimes in this game, specifically when she needs it, but maybe it's just she's just manifesting it because of stuff that went on before. Radio, what the hell is this doing falling down from the ceiling? Anyway, I guess that explains the static from just before. But all it's picking up is static. I wonder if it's broken. God damn, Konami, we really need a proper remaster of this game. Because the Silent Hill 2 Enhanced Edition people are still working on the Enhanced Edition even after 3 years. By the time they get to this game, it's going to be like 2030. So we definitely need a proper remaster. And they're not getting paid either, so they got no motivation to do it. Like, they're just focused on 2 right now. They're fixated on that because that's their favorite game. But that also means by the time they get to this one, like I said, it's going to be like 2030. If we ever do get anything from them. Oh, I never noticed there's a stool in there. We're seeing all sorts of details here that I didn't see before. Because it was either too dark or it's just not clear enough.
Is this a dream? It's gotta be.
You could have run back to the elevator, Heather. There's his tattoo, the seal of Metatron, on it, right on his shoulder.
Not even a kid could believe in this.
He's got 2 of them.
But when am I going to back up?
So that lets you know right there, he's not a regular monster. He's actually something higher. And he's unaffected by some of the rules that govern the monsters. So this is actually where the original demo ended for the PlayStation Underground disc. We ended just before we reached the here. Where the hell are we going? God damn, get out of my way, dog. Move. Yeah, it's really bright on my screen, on my TV. I have the laptop connected to it. But like I said, I have to do it this way because otherwise you won't see anything when YouTube makes it all dark, so better to be overly bright than not bright enough. There are books and magazines, but I have no time to read them. Got an ampule. I wonder what the equivalent of that is in real life. Would it be adrenaline or something like that? It doesn't look like there's anything useful on the shelf. I think she said that was bloodstained. I'm not sure. I think on the PS2 version at least, normally out here you would see into the distance like the buildings next door also covered in the rust and grime. I'm not seeing them here. I wonder if that's here or if that's upstairs in the cafe or the restaurant. I think it is here. I think it's here. You will look out the window and see the different buildings, so you see that the whole world is pretty much affected. This again, looking at it makes my head hurt, but at the same time it's like so familiar. I know I've forgotten something really important, but I also have the feeling that I'd be better off not remembering it. Alright, so we're 33 minutes in. I think we're gonna do a little more. Okay, so we last saved 228 odds. 259 now in the morning, so we're gonna go a little bit further. Try to get more progress in. Yeah, it might be a little too bright, but like I said, I'd rather err on the side of caution because I know for a fact I tested out the save file that I already had, which is over at the portrait gallery. I tested that out and that looked dark as hell. Like you could barely see where you were going in the hallway, so I figure it's better this way. At least you can actually see where Heather is going, because you couldn't see shit the other time. Just leave him there to munch on his little snack. We don't need to bother him. Looks like Happy Burger has taken a turn for the worse. That's a really cool motif though. I've never seen that in real life. Fast food joint like Burger King where it's all wood. Wooden table, wooden decor. I've never seen that ever. Ladders hanging halfway down from the ceiling. Even if I stand on the table and stretch my hands out, I can't reach it. If only I had something long to snag it. Yeah, all the details are gone. I've never seen that. Like, I find it ironic that Happy Burger is make-believe restaurant. It doesn't exist in real life. It's fictional, and yet it actually looks better than actual real-life fast food restaurants that we have. I guess when you can design it without obligation towards, you know, proper design, you can do whatever you want. But I don't know, it just looks actually better than what we have in real life. What the hell is that? Warning, when leaving the room, be sure to turn out the lights. It will be obvious if they are not switched off. So funny thing, when I first played through this game, actually, I didn't realize that it was to get the flashlight because I went over here and I found the flashlight right away. So I kept wondering what purpose does it have to turn off the lights? And it's all because you would see it shining. But since I got it right away because I examined every little corner of the room, I never noticed that on my first playthrough. It wasn't until later on that I made a connection and it was like, oh, so that's what you do. That's how you see the flashlight. You're supposed to turn it off so you see the shining effect. I just thought it was something random. So what I did in my story was I just when you turn off the flashlight, that signals a new monster to come out, one that's unique to them all. Oh, here's the infamous cutscene that a lot of people like and other people hate because this is too meta. It breaks the immersion, but I like it. So you can see here everything outside is pretty orange, so we are obviously in another dimension here. It's full of filthy, muddy water. Looks like something's stopping it up. Will you remove the blockage? Yes. Like the music. Little sinister music there.
Oh, forget it. This is way too gross. Who would even think of doing something so disgusting?
She's talking to you, James. Some people catch that on right away and other people surprisingly don't notice. Even if they play Silent Hill 2, they don't make the connection that she's talking directly to James and his disgusting sticking his hand in that toilet full of blood and who knows what else. Disgusting. I'm not getting any closer. I don't even want to look at it. Yeah, I saw one player who got it right away. And then I saw another player who completely missed it even though she'd played Silent Hill 2 before that. I had no idea how she didn't make the connection that it was to James. Oh shit, he's right there. We are saving all our ammo because we're gonna need it later on. So we do not want to use it yet. Unless we absolutely need to. These clothes are awfully dirty. They're stained with blood splatters. They weren't like this before. What could have happened? Well, you know what happened, Heather. You switched into another alternate dimension. Where do you think you are right now? Got a hanger. We can use that. That scared the hell out of me the first time I heard it. And it still gets some people when they play this game for the first time. I like little touches like that where they don't have to put in a jump scare, but they do just to remind you that it is a horror game. And even though it's psychological horror, you still have some cheap scares too. You can do both. Got a bulletproof vest. Thing about this vest though, it's heavy, so Heather is no Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jamie Lee Curtis or Sigourney Weaver. She can't run fast wearing one of those. Remember, Jamie Lee played a cop, so she's used to bulletproof vests, but Heather is not that. So she's only a teenager, so she can only run really slow wearing that thing. Bleach. The sort of stuff you'd use to clean a toilet. I think I have the same kind at home. The bottle says danger. Do not mix. Mix with an acidic detergent and it'll produce poisonous chlorine gas. A wire coat hanger. I got it at the boutique. It's heavy under a jacket, but it should protect against the monster's attacks. The only problem is it's heavy and harder to move, so I'll run slower. So we mainly need that more like in the office building where the monsters can really do some damage to you if you're not careful. Over here you can kind of just run and avoid them, but it's pretty useful in the office and in the hospital definitely, where one hit can kill you. If you're low on health, then the nurse shoots you and you don't have the vest on, it's all over. You're dead, so it's pretty useful there to have. What's over here? Oh yeah, she's just looking at the door. Good thing we're agile, right? We can just go straight around this guy. Wait, that's the wrong place. That's the dog having his lunch there. Oh boy, I was so excited to play this when I first came home and was staring at it, reading the back of the box and everything all throughout the bus ride when I got it from Circuit City. I think I paid what, $39.99 for it? Pretty much. I do remember it wasn't $50, it was less than that. Because the games didn't cost $50 back then. Some games did, but most of them didn't. Like the price of games has pretty much generally stayed pretty steady. Despite what some people may have you believe. Like, we're supposed to think that $70 is expensive for a game. And it is, but at the same time, it's actually very close to what games were originally. Because games for the Super Nintendo were expensive. They actually could cost upwards of $50, $60, $70. And on the Nintendo 64, Perfect Dark had a version of it that in today's money would pretty much be, I think, like $130. So it was games got expensive back then. People don't remember it because you got that era of PS1 games where PS1 and Saturn games where they were really cheap. Although the Saturn turned expensive really quickly, but the PS1 games were always cheap, so people just assume all games would forever be $20 and $30, and no, that's not quite true. Like they've always been 50, 60, something like that, even in the Super Nintendo days. Can you imagine paying $60 for Mega Man X? Mega Man X1 on the Super NES, because that's what you would have had to pay back then. Why would something like this be here? This is in a hospital. Like, don't you remember Funko Land, which used to be GameStop, and how the used games there would sometimes be, you'd see them on the little catalog pages in game magazines, and you look at the prices for those games. And they were $45, $50, $55 for some used games, even Super NES. And then Saturn, as that became rare and hard to find. So yeah, games have always been expensive. Like the prices haven't not gone up that much at all. I don't know. We don't have the ammo for that yet. We might tackle that eventually. I think there's nothing in there except like one health item anyway. There's nothing you need to get. So what was that? Silent Hill 1 players know what that is, but I can't see anything, I can't hear anything. What was that, I wonder? That I heard someone say daddy. Fun fact, you can fall off this escalator if you're not careful. If you go straight to the bottom and lean over, you can fall off that escalator. Is there an item here? I think there is. Oh no, there's nothing there. Oh, I think it's on easy. There's a pile of bullets there. Or a health drink or something. I know there is something there. Look at that. Look at that abyss right there. You're just staring right into the void. And there's probably two cat eyes staring back at you, even though you can't see them. Alright, we're gonna go a little further. Let's see, trying to find a good spot to save. You just push that body right into that abyss. No one's gonna notice. Alright, let's get everybody's favorite item, the walnut. The glass is broken in the showcase and it's totally empty. That's too bad. Got a walnut. There's a nice silver ring in here the last time I came. Bummer that it's gone, huh? But could you have afforded it, Heather? Or were you planning to steal it? The walnut. This is a good sized walnut from the jeweler showcase. Something's rattling around inside, but I can't open it with my bare hands. I am allergic to walnuts, which I did not discover until last year when it almost sent me, or it did send me to the hospital. Not severely, but still. Even the call button seems to be broken, doors just won't move. So that's how I found out that I was allergic to walnuts when I ate them for the first time and found out that I probably shouldn't have eaten them. So I cannot enjoy any of those walnut related treats. I can't eat walnut butter on bread or walnut treats or... Oh yeah, we need the dog key. We gotta go upstairs and get the key from the dog. Good thing these guys move so slowly, huh? They're not really a threat. On this difficulty, they're pretty hard on hard mode, which, come to think of it, I probably should have done, but since I haven't played the game so long, I'm taking it easier. Maybe we'll do a hard playthrough just so you can see what it's like. Final boss is a pain, I'll give it that. Sad thing is, when it's not looking all messed up, this mall actually is nicer than our malls that we have over here. Like, our malls are pretty much on their deathbed. Like, Philadelphia Mills Mall is nothing to be impressed by anymore. They've lost a lot of good stores on food places, and the Chamonix Mall is on its last legs basically. So this mall, when it's not all messed up, is much better and interesting looking than our actual real life malls. Ah, okay, so there's the buildings over there. So you see, we are literally in another dimension. Some people try to argue that you're not really shifting into another dimension, like it's more like the dimension is coming over here and taking over, but like, where do all the people go then? You know? If it just comes here and takes over, then where do they get sent to? Like, is it like in Justice League, that one episode where Morgana sent like pretty much everyone to some alternate dimension? Or not Morgana, Mordred, I think it wasn't Morgan Le Fay, it was Mordred. He sent everyone, every single adult into some alternate world, and he left only the kids. Rows of wine bottles. I don't really feel like eating and drinking stuff from an alternate reality, okay? Yeah, so she gets it. She knows she's in an alternate reality. We're in the Twilight Zone, Heather. Enjoy it. There's a disgusting smell coming from the pot. I think I better keep away. I lift it and take a look just to see what it is. Like Ethan does in Resident Evil 7. He still lifts the jar even though it smells horrible. He lifts the lid and what happens? A big old roach comes crawling out. Look at that. This kind of sucks because it makes you want to explore that other area, and yet there is no other area. You're pretty much confined to the mall. Look at that, the nice hellscape behind the building there. So we are definitely not on Earth anymore. Look at that. Look at that orange abyss right behind the green building. Now that's gnarly. What is this? Barbecued dog. Who the hell would make something like this? Furthermore, who the hell would eat it? There's something in the dog's stomach. Got a cooked key. There's nothing else to worry about here. Other than who the hell is sick enough to do something like this, that is. And even that, I'd really just rather not know. It's just a roasted dog anyway. I shouldn't let that creep me out. Heather adapts quickly. That's one thing I like about her character that I'm impressed by. She adapts a lot more quickly than Harry and James did. Or compared to Henry, where he pretty much has no reaction. Like Henry doesn't need to adapt because he just takes things as they are. So like his default mode is pretty much just whatever. He's not frightened, he's not disturbed, he's not taken aback, he's just wandering baffled through the whole thing in Silent Hill 4. So is that one of the bandaged dogs? I never really noticed the detail before. It looks more like some type of German Shepherd or something. So it's not one of the bandaged dogs, right? I think it's just a regular dog that's been roasted. Although they did a nice setup of putting the napkin there in like a little origami style boat. Yeah, is that a boat? Is that like a little pyramid? So you can enter here, but there's nothing. Nothing except the orange abyss outside. But I still find it pretty neat when games do this, like when they let you enter rooms that don't have anything on them or in them, because it shows that they're trying to make like a realistic environment instead of just, oh, you can only go here. You can only go where the game sends you because you need to find more items. I like the fact that you can actually go there. The door has a red croissant and a round dent. Something's written here in the same color, red. God damn it. Go away, dog. We will read it later then. Once that dog has fucked off, we'll read whatever that is. Okay, so now we got the cooked key. This key was in the barbecue dog at the restaurant. Yuck. I think I'm gonna save once I get to the room with the vice. I think there's a safe spot in there. Got some health drinks. Here's where we get the pipe. I was gonna say we don't get that yet. I thought we got it after we got the after we went to the vice room, but now we can get the pipe right away. I'm hoping they keep the sword for Silent Hill 2. Like I'm hoping since Harry had one in the first game and Heather has one here, to actually add the sword to the second game. Because I don't know about you, but I do not like that wooden plank. People go nuts about it, they rave about that damn wooden plank, and I just do not like that thing. It's slow, so it's almost useless, like it just takes a lot of hits to kill an enemy. It looks silly, like I just do not like that wooden plank. I'd rather have the sword, please. And the pipe James has is nothing to brag about either. Like Harry had a much better one. Heather has a much better one. Like James just kind of sucks. Because too often he does like that stabbing motion with the pipe. Which just it's all sorts of difficult to deal with. Like it's not ideal. It leaves you open to attack. So I'd rather them just give me a sword. You know. Have him break into someone's house or apartment and just get a decorative or Japanese katana style sword, you know. Let us use that instead of the crappy pipe and board. Or hell, let us use the emergency hammer from Silent Hill 1. That would be an awesome game. That would be an awesome time in the game if we could use the emergency hammer. Oh boy, the frame rate's going chunky with that fan, isn't it? Let's turn it off. Oh boy, this game is going mega chunky. Look at that shit. Oh. There's gotta be a way a camera will stab them one by one. Some insecticide would do the trick. Not going any further is creepy and dangerous to boot. Oh yeah, really slowed down here, so let's get rid of that quickly. So we gotta use the bleach and the detergent. It was next to the bakery sink. It's not for dishes though, it's for the bathroom. Okay, let's do it. Let's hope the cutscene doesn't stagger. And it did. That's an easy way to blind yourself right there. Good thing Heather's not an ordinary person, is she? Alright, let's turn on the fan. And get out of this hallway of like 10 FPS. I used this to make gas earlier. Best not to stick my head in too far. Who knows what's left in there. Oh, okay, so it is just that little corner there. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with that. We're not going back there anyway. So it is just certain rooms that have the slowdown effect where the frame rate's kind of bad. It's not all of them, it is just certain rooms. Got some beef jerky. We can actually see the label on the beef jerky now, thanks to the slightly enhanced graphics. Got a hell of a lot of bullets. We're gonna need those for the nurses later on. There was a commercial for Silent Hill 3 that actually I used to really like. It was very creepy. Showed Heather running around through this through the alternate mall here. Featured a little bit of Claudia. That's a nice voiceover. Like, they used to make some good commercials for video games, even though they rarely show them sometimes. Let's kill this guy, just because. We haven't killed anybody yet, so let's just kill the monster right here. Finally. There we go. Beat him into submission. The combat here is not too bad. I think mainly what holds it back is the uncontrollable camera, which I know has annoyed a lot of people. I don't mind it as much, but why would this be here? And who's just sleeping on it? Obviously they're not sleeping if they're on a stretcher in this place. Yeah, I don't think the combat's bad here. I think what mainly holds it back is the camera. Like I said, a lot of people have complained about the camera and how unpredictable it is, how it gets in your way. I get what they were going for it, like this kind of chaotic camera, but it is kind of inferior to Silent Hill 2's camera, which was pretty good for the most part. But I don't mind it. That, and you also have to learn how to block. If you don't learn how to block, you're gonna have a really tough time on this game, especially on hard difficulty. Hard mode will kill you if you don't learn how to block. That stain on the restraint is shaped like a human. I don't want to even think about what this platform was used for. Lock is broken. What is this, trash? No, it smells different somehow. Like blood or running meat. So this might be... Yep, it's corpses. Lots and lots of corpses. And here we have the vice. There's a sort of vise here, and we can use that to crack open the walnut. No dot in the walnut shell, just a jewel. Got a moonstone. There's a sort of vise here. Yeah, you can definitely crack some nuts in that vise. You can crack someone's nuts with that vise easily. We got the moonstone. It's just a type of jewel, not really from the moon. It was inside the walnut somehow. It'll be cool if it was from the moon, though. How do you know it isn't? Like this this place manifests, you know, all types of stuff. It can be from anywhere. Let's save here. This pattern looks like it could have been drawn in blood. I bet it's some sort of curse symbol. No wonder my head hurts and it feels so awful when I look at it. Yeah, we could go on and do the first boss, but my concern is that something might go awry with that boss, because like I said, I haven't played this on the laptop, so I'm not sure what might happen with the mod. I don't want to play the first boss and get stuck in it, or something goes wrong and we have to cut the recording short. Like I might go on, play just a bit of it ahead before doing the next video, just to see if there's no recording issues with the first boss. If we don't have that glitch where everything just went dark, like when like earlier on when the game kind of cut off and sent me back to my desktop screen. I want to see that there's no issues with that. I want to see if there's no slowdown either. Like if there's some frame rate issues, we might have to solve that. But either way, I think I'll leave that boss for next time, because like I said, I want to make sure everything goes through smoothly. So far we haven't had that many issues. Once we adjusted the frame rate, we locked it at 30 FPS. Like I said, there's still some rooms where there's some severe slowdown, but they're not many. You know, it's mainly a couple rooms here and there, and then like the full scale cutscenes tend to be a little choppy. Definitely a little choppy, but the game itself for the most part runs fine. Like I said, this is not nearly as good as a version done by the team behind the enhanced edition for Silent Hill 2 would be, but unfortunately they have said they have no plans to work on that at the moment. And by the time they do get to working on that, like I said, it's probably going to be like 2030. We're going to have to wait like 6 years for it, or 7 years. So this is pretty much the best we're probably going to get. I don't remember the name of the guy who did the mod, but I know he put a whole bunch of stuff in it. Like he put widescreen fixes, he fixed some of the lighting issues, he fixed some of the text errors with the memos. He included all the Silent Hill 2 references back. He put them back in the game. Because I think normally you don't get them until the second playthrough. You don't see them on your first time playing the game. You only see them the second time playing the game, once you've beaten it once. But he did it so you can see them right off the bat. Because obviously if you're installing this, you've already played Silent Hill 3 like 30 times or 20 times. You know, you're not a stranger to the game. You already know what it's about. You know everything that goes on there, so you want to have access to all the references right away instead of having to wait for them. So he did a lot of nice work, but it's still no substitute for like a full-scale team working on this thing for 2 or 3 years. Like he probably did the best he could, but again, it's just one guy or 2 guys at most. Like you can only expect so much with this game, considering the port, from what I hear, is very, very poorly optimized for PC. Like Konami just screwed up a lot. Like I think a lot of their ports actually weren't all that great for PC. That's why you had to repair a lot of stuff. I think Metal Gear suffered from some of the same issues too, where there was some stuff that they just had to repair on PC to get the games working for 2 and 3. And even 1, like I think 1 had an integral version, But even then, I think 1 had some issues. So like Konami generally just does not do well with PC ports. So you have to kind of tinker around and fix some stuff in order to get them working. But this looks okay. Like I said, I'd rather play like this, have a couple slow moments of slowdown or frame rate issues than, you know, have it just look like crap on the PS2, because we're just connecting it with composite cables and playing like a upscaler, and that barely does anything to it. Like I'd rather just play it this way. You can see everything clearly, instead of, oh, it runs completely smooth on the PS2 but it looks like crap because you can't record properly. That's what I'm gonna have to do with Legacy of Kain 2, with Soul Reaver 2. Probably not 2, but definitely the first Soul Reaver and then Defiance. I'm gonna have to play on the PC and just find a way to get them running smoothly, because I don't want to play those games on the PS2 and have them look like crap, especially Soul Reaver 1. Like, I want to do that game justice. And for Defiance, I want to use the PC mods that somebody put a while back where the characters actually look like they're supposed to. You know, Mortanius look like he's Mortanius. Kain has some added detail to him. So like they did a years and years ago, like I'm talking upwards of 10 years ago, they did a mod for Defiance that greatly improved the textures for the characters. Let's just say I'll leave it at that. They did some fine work, and I want to try that out because I've never played the game that way. I've always played it on PS2, never on PC, so I have no idea how to use those mods yet. But yeah, they basically make the characters look like they're Blood Omen themselves, the way they should, considering the time period that the story takes place in. So you actually get Mortanius looking like himself. And I think Mobius has like the same outfit for Blood Omen 1, so it's a really cool mod. I look forward to trying it out much later on, but we will see, because for now I'm going to do Silent Hill 3 and probably get started soon on that Resident Evil 4 hardcore playthrough, now that I have the added weapons. But I will leave you here because I've rambled on long enough about games for the past 5 minutes. So thank you for watching. I will see you again next time on Silent Hill 3 on PC, with some slight enhancements for a very useful mod. See you later.